Morning and welcome to Richard's FM. It's been a while since I've done a video. Today is a special occasion in such as it's the 20th anniversary of the passing of Stuart Adamson from Big Country, one of my all-time musical heroes. 20 years is just a ridiculous amount of time for him to be gone, and I still miss him musically on a day-to-day basis. This Big Country were the first band I seen live at the age of 16 at the Ritz in Lincoln, and I was on the front row with my brother. We got the second and third tickets because my dad had been down to get the tickets while we were at school because he's a legend. And we got there, and it was just such a brilliant gig. It was on the SEA tour in '86 thereabouts, and it was just such a fantastic gig. Started my love of going to gigs, and more importantly, my love of Big Country. Which had started earlier. My parents had been out to buy a new stereo. So one of those vertical things with the turntables that were vertical, and they had a cassette player in it. And it was just a fantastic piece of kit. And my brother bought The Crossing on cassette, which had B-sides and a couple of 12 inches on it. And it was just fantastic. And we were both hooked, and it became like a lifelong obsession for us. We went to see them 5 times, I think, while Stuart was alive, between us. And then separately we've seen them on numerous occasions since. And we went to Stuart's tribute gig at the Glasgow Barrowlands as well, which was amazing and such a thing to be part of. I'm so happy to be a part of that. And just even to this day, Stuart's music still touches me. I listen to it quite a lot. I mean, on a daily basis, obviously, but regularly, and I will be spinning quite a lot of that today. It's hard to put into words the effect that going to see Big Country, which is where they were in their element, and they still are, seeing them this year as well. But while Stuart was alive, the way that they touched the crowd, the way that every single person in that crowd felt like they were a part of it. They were in the band, and a lot of people say this, but with Big Country it was especially true because you were part of a family, you were part of a group. And it was a time and a place, and you had to be there to appreciate how wonderful it was, how special it felt to be a part of that. I mean, maybe it didn't at the time, but now it does. It did at the time, what we're talking about, but it definitely did. And it was such a special thing to have those memories lodged in the back of my brain and stay at the forefront of my brain on what is a sad day, yes, but it's also a day to remember the great man. It means a lot to me, as I know it does to a lot of people. So, stop the camera shaking. So yeah, it means a lot to me. That spirit today continues in the way the lineup that Big Country are today. Like I say, I've seen them this year at the Butlins Great Alternative Weekender in Skeg, and they were fantastic. But also, like 2 songs into the crowd, into the gig, and this was in like a 1700 capacity building that they built, and there must have been 1,000 people in there. This was like 12 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and there was 1,000 people there to watch Big Country, which is the biggest Big Country gig I've seen in I don't know how long. And Bruce pulled this guy out of the crowd, and it turns out he was a Downs lad, and he came up and he wanted to play drums, and they got him on drums. Leon, his name is, and it was just such a good, uplifting thing. I mean, it was mental because he didn't want to come off the drums afterwards, obviously, because he was just having the time of his life. But he was an absolute legend, and Big Country were a legend for getting him up there in the first place. It was so good to see that, and it was so in keeping with the spirit that Stuart and the rest of the lads created, and still do, because they're attracting crowds still, and they are bloody good still. So hats off to them, fair play, and we miss you, Stuart, and all the best to Big Country and all the fans, and love you loads. So take care, bye.